Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another amazing episode. In today's video, I have an amazing car for you, and in this review, guys, we'll be going a little bit old school. And this is a car that whenever you get to be on our Kenyan roads, you'll always get to see this car. So this is a car which has been there for decades and decades, and this is a car which is still running in our Kenyan road, and is a car that is usually considered by many. And of course, in the second-hand car market, most people they get to prefer this car. The car that we'll be talking about is none other is the Nissan B15 Sunny, and this is a car which, as I said, is a car which is no longer being produced. It's a car which appeared in the market or was released in the market from 1998 all the way to 2006. So this is a car which we are talking about having run in our Kenyan road for more than 2 decades. So pay attention, guys, because we'll be looking into reason why people consider buying this car. We'll also be looking into the fuel consumption, maintenance cost of this car, as well as is the car reliable. That's the question that we get to narrow down. Is the car reliable, and is it worth the money? So I'll be taking you through this discussion. My name is Willie, and of course, if it's your first time coming across my videos or coming across this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button, which is just below here, so that you'll be part of this team. And whenever I get to bring you a new episode, a new car review segment, you always be notified. So for now, after the short break, we'll be looking into the main segment and details about this car. So stick around for that, guys. Well, with the Nissan B15 Sunny, this is the end. This is the car which brought an end of a classic generation of Nissan Sunnies, which were being produced, as I said, from 1998 all the way to 2006. And this car, you need to know, it do comes with, depending with the trim, it comes with different powertrains. So we have those Nissan Sunny B15, which are being powered by the motor, which has 1.3 liter, that is the 1300cc, and we also have another one which is powered by the 1500cc. So we'll be focusing on the variant which is popular here in Kenya, and we are talking about the 1500cc, which is among the QG 15DE series. So these engines, they were more reliable, or they are a bit more powerful as compared to the 1300cc. So our main focus will be on the 1.5. So right away, let's look into the specs that comes with this motor that powers this car. Well, when we get to talk about the engine, it's very important that you get to understand, even if the car has very good interior, or it's looking good in terms of the external features, if the engine is not reliable, the car generally becomes unfavorable for the market, and that should be your main focus. So for this case, remember this 1500cc petrol engine that we are focusing at goes by the name, it's called the QG 15DE series. Remember, we are talking about these are cars which have been coming out for, they were coming out for a period of time. So as the year went by, they really did some adjustment with the engine. But what we most people got to be satisfied with is the QG15DE. So that will be our focus, and we're talking about a motor which has 4 cylinders. It's an inline 4-cylinder engine. Also, another thing to notice is that this engine also came with a double overhead camshaft. We have talked in other videos the importance of having the double overhead camshaft in every engine. One thing, one advantage that is usually you usually get with this engine, which have the double overhead camshaft, is this engine tend to be very silent, especially even if you are going at very high revs. You'll realize the engine, in terms of their vibration, they are very low. And what narrows down to those low vibrations is that the engine also gets to have a long lifespan, which is very important in any car out there. So with the 1500cc, it gets to give out some good torque power, and you're talking about, or we're talking about the 109 horsepower. That's the engine power of this car, which is also very sufficient when you get to talk about that that engine capacity, because considering the body is not that big, this engine also gets to get the car to its top speed in just a few seconds. So also another important thing to realize is that this engine, it has direct injection, which is important when it comes to fuel economy. And the fact that it do have four cylinders, also it's also to help to ensure that the engine gets to give out enough power. Also, to understand about this engine is that the fueling system has something called the multi-point fuel injection, meaning it has a very good coordinated way of fuel being dripped into the engine, which with that the engine can really get to run smoothly. So with this engine, remember we are talking about an engine which was a bit old school. It doesn't have those advanced features as you may see or you have seen myself reviewing in the latest car versions. But this engine, it was not a bad one. But for those people who had some experience with this engine, they of course they made they realized this engine had some problems like oil leaks. So you will realize, especially at the top cover seal, this engine tend to have some oil leaks, but that's a problem that can be fixed whenever you have a good mechanic around. So with this car, the B15, they also came with either the manual transmission system, but majority of them, they had the automatic transmission system. We're talking about the four-speed automatic transmission system, which in combination with this engine, this car, if well maintained, gave the driver some good service time. So basically, when it comes to the motor that powers this car, it's not a bad one generally, but I remember this car, they are no longer in production. So the production ended way back to 2006. So the cars that you'll be seeing, the B15s that you'll be seeing running around, they are from those generations. So basically, that's all you need to know about the motor of of this car. If there's any information that I missed out, or you have some experience with this car, talk to me on the comment section. It will be very helpful. So now let us go ahead and get a look at generally the external features of this car, and some of the things that you can always see or identify with the B15s. Well, when you get to talk about the looks of the B15, this is a car which was very unique. Uh, Generally, they had borrowed some concept. You'll be seeing some similarities with cars like the Toyota Corolla, the 110 or the 111s. You'll also be seeing also some specs from cars like the Caldina. So basically, these B15s were more of a combination, or basically they had borrowed so much, or they had so much similarities from the Toyota Corolla. To start with, remember the B15 Sunny, the Nissan Sunny, they are sedan cars, meaning they do have, they are not hatchback, meaning they have the front part extended, also the rear part is also extended. Looking at how that car looks, it seems to have a very good stretch in terms of the chassis, meaning that gives the car stability, especially when it's running at its top speed. When it comes to the wheel size, most of these Nissan Sunny, the B15s, they came with around the 14-inch or the 14-inch wheel size, which was also was give the car some good ground clearance, meaning this car you can literally get to go to some rough roads, not necessarily those rough terrains, but or you can also get to navigate places where they don't have those smooth tarmac roads, and of course it got to get the job done amazingly. So remember, these are five-seater car, meaning it can get to carry five passengers. And this car, so many people preferred it, especially people who have that small family. This car was appropriate for them. So looking on the front side, you can see it comes with just basic features. It's not as a luxury as the latest trims that we have out here. It just came with the necessary or the basic features that any car could have. Looking at the front part, we have, of course, the iconic Nissan logo. These are this logo, you have seen it even in the latest model. That logo doesn't change. So that's the brand identity for any Nissan car out there. So you can see it do have that small silver grill over there. Of course, the grill varies depending on the trim, as well as some people they do some aftermarket changes or upgrades, which also gets to give the car some good look. When it comes to the fog light, then most of these cars didn't come with fog light, but they did come with that space whereby you could do some aftermarket upgrades. You could install some fog light if you need, if you needed to do that. For the case of the headlights, they came with the halogen reflectors, which was very, very important because it gave those headlights very strong reflection such that the light could be channeled or directed in the right direction. So that way, the driver had good visibility, especially when cruising at night. So for the windows, for the side mirrors, some of the trims for the side mirrors, they were powered. The electric powered, meaning you could just fold them by just clicking a button. But most of them they were just manual. You could just turn them manually, which was not bad, but depending on that generation, it was the latest technology out there. So speaking of the rear part of this car, of course, it did come with those big, well extended rear lights, which also attached to the boot. So, meaning if you could open the boot, there was some part of the lights, the rear lights, went up with the boot. So you could see that you have seen those features also in cars like the 110, and of course, I get that was the trend at that particular series. So generally with the Nissan B15, Sunny is not a bad car, but as I said, if you have experienced or you have owned this car, talk to me in the comment section. I would really, really appreciate. So now, guys, let's just go ahead and get to look real quick at the features that the interior features that comes with this car. Well, looking at the interior of this car, if the Nissan logo could be removed, you could generally say this is almost 100% similar to the 110. So the interior of this car is came with just basic features. The car is not extremely luxurious because you can see it has those basic specs, which of course makes the driver to feel comfortable. We are talking about that smooth dashboard over there. For the keys of the infotainment system, this car came with either the AM or the FM radio. Most of these cars didn't have touchscreen radio or even Android system whereby you can get the Google navigation. This car didn't come with all that. But for the case of the safety, this car came with two airbags. We have one right here in the middle of the steering. We also have another one on this side whereby the passenger, of course, was also covered. You can see this car didn't come with extended buttons over here. That's a feature that we are seeing nowadays with the cars that are the latest trims that we have out there. You can see, as I said, looking at the center console, this one it's an automatic transmission system. We're also talking about things like the car also came with the climate control aspects. We have those manual knobs whereby you can get to touch to tune in or to adjust manually, depending with the of course with the temperatures that you're in that car. So those are some of the features that you see with the Nissan Sunny B15. Speaking of seats, you can see these seats. They just came with cloth or fabric upholstery, which the driver felt comfortable. Of course, once you're in this car, you can feel comfortable, but I won't lie to you, it doesn't give you the best comfort or luxury that you could experience with the latest models that are out there. But they're amazing, and of course, with those seats, it gets the job done. Speaking of the center console, this car do comes with things like cup holders. We have more space over here on the door panels, whereby you can get to store your materials or store your items over there. So as I said, remember these are a five-passenger car. So we also have the rear seat way back, and of course we are talking about the luggage compartment way back there. So this car generally is not a bad one, but I would appreciate hearing your thoughts about the car. especially for those people who have interacted directly, made me a mechanic, a car owner, or a car enthusiast out there, and you have experienced directly with the Nissan B15. Talk to me on the comment section. I would really, really appreciate it. So for now, guys, that's it. That's what I have for you today. I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. And of course, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, which is just below here, do that so that you'll be part of this thing.